Dracula is just a legend. But what if the real story was even more dramatic?
Long before Dracula became a story, there lived a prince named Vlad.
Born in 1431, Vlad III was destined to rule Wallachia.
His father, Vlad II, was part of the Order of the Dragon.
That order defended Christian lands against powerful enemies. Young Vlad grew up in dangerous times, caught between great empires.
To secure peace, he and his brother were sent as hostages to the Ottoman court.
There, Vlad learned not only language and culture, but also survival. When his family was lost in troubled times, Vlad's destiny suddenly changed.
Vlad swore to reclaim his throne and protect his homeland.
In 1456, he returned to Wallachia as ruler.
But ruling was no simple task. Enemies circled from every side. Vlad's reign demanded strength and fearlessness. To his people, he was a protector. To his enemies, a nightmare. Legends began to spread, tales that would echo for centuries.
These stories mixed fact with myth, shaping the man into a legend.
The world would come to know him by a chilling name, Dracula. But who was the real Vlad behind the legend?
To find out, we must follow him into conflict. Vlad's enemies came swiftly, testing his rule.
The Ottoman Empire sought to crush his small kingdom.
Vlad knew he could not win by strength alone.
He used clever tactics, striking swiftly and vanishing into forests. Villagers saw him as their shield, protecting them from invasion. To his foes, he inspired fear unlike any other.
One legend tells of a night attack that stunned the Ottomans.
With speed and surprise, he kept larger armies at bay.
Yet these victories came at a cost.
Stories of his ruthlessness spread across Europe.
Some called him a hero, others, a monster.
Printed pamphlets painted him as a villainous figure. These tales grew larger than life, feeding the legend of Dracula. But behind the stories stood a determined leader. He fought not for fame, but to protect his land. Yet enemies never ceased, always plotting his downfall.
Vlad's rule was fragile, balanced on constant conflict.
Still, he remained unyielding in the face of giants. Even in faraway lands, his name caused shivers.
Soon, tales exaggerated him into something beyond human.
But to his people, he was their wall against invaders.
Year after year, he faced endless wars.
His methods earned him fear, but also grudging respect.
Still, allies were scarce, and betrayal was never far.
In time, his enemies captured him, locking him away. For 12 years, he was kept as a prisoner in Hungary.
Yet even captivity could not erase his legend.
Released, he sought once more to claim his throne.
He returned to Wallachia, scarred but unbroken. Once again, he stood as ruler of a fragile kingdom. But peace was fleeting, as threats never ended. Once more, Vlad prepared to fight against overwhelming odds.
His courage burned bright, even in his final campaigns.
But fate would deal him a cruel hand. In 1476, Vlad fell in combat, his story entering legend. Yet his legacy refused to fade, whispered for centuries. From hero to villain, the name Dracula lived on. Vlad's legend grew, whispered in castles and villages across Europe.
Some called him a ruthless ruler. Others, a hero who stood against invasion.
Over time, his name blurred with myth, becoming larger than life. Centuries later, stories of Dracula emerged from his shadow. But the real Vlad was not a vampire, only a man of power and fear. His rule reminds us how legends are born from history's shadows. Today, the Wallachian prince is remembered as both ruler and legend.
In LEGO history, his story becomes a puzzle of bravery and fear.
Was he truly a monster, or a defender of his people?
History does not always give us clear answers. But it leaves us stories to explore and legends to retell. And Vlad's tale? It still echoes through the ages. The line between history and legend often lies in imagination.
And imagination is where LEGO history thrives.
So next time you hear of Dracula, remember, it began here.
From a prince of Wallachia to the world's most famous legend. And so, history leaves us with one final question. Who do you believe Vlad truly was? If you enjoyed this LEGO journey through history, don't Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us for the next adventure.